I'm rolling in the I get that in I get that in I'm rolling in
Hello and welcome to Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets, the post-Super Bowl edition of Sharp Bets and Fantasy Sets. I am your host, Nick Fiorentino, and alongside me, as always, is Chris Sir Shaw. See, I threw you a curveball, Tim. Chris, how we doing?
Yeah, I'm chilling, brother. I'm chilling. Seeing we here, Super Bowl's over, but we're still here. It's all right. Let's go.
We are here. Big time, how we doing?
Doing good there, Nicky. Doing good. Before we go any further, though, real quick, we're here to win money. The no-brainer bet, not in the no-brainer form, is back on DraftKings. They have a $25 max bet. They call it Hammer the Over, and you got to put $25 down to hit the over in one of the NBA games on, I believe,
Lakers
it's on Valentine's Day. Lakers Nuggets on Valentine's Day. Put the bet in right now. I think it's all the way down to 40. The over-under is 40. So bet the
11.
over 40 points. And
It's 11.
take your $25. It's 11 now?
It was
It's even
17
better.
when I left.
Yeah, it's 11. They just have to get over
Yeah.
11 points.
Yeah, I
For the game.
guarantee
That's good.
you it'll happen.
If the
So
Lakers
please
win
go do that.
6-4, just stop betting. I don't.
I think it'll happen. And of course, our returning guest coming in for the post-Super Bowl edition, Mr. TruExact himself, our producer of our show and Mark's Side of the Ring, and the host of the TruExact show. Scott, how we doing?
I'm okay, man. I'm kind of sad football's over, but
Yeah.
it's life, man. We got another year, possibly dealing with COVID, so let's just keep doing these shows. That's it.
This has always been like the worst for me period of sports. Like there's no football and there's a long time before baseball. And last year I thought we would at least have the XFL, which would lead us into the baseball season, but no XFL anymore until next year. I can promise you this. If we are still doing this 1 year from today, we will be the best in coverage for all XFL sports bets. As I pour my shot here in honor of the XFL.
Is it coming back next year, though? They said, right? Like, definite?
Next year. Yeah, The Rock bought it. Scott, what do you got? Vodka straight? What's that?
No, it's actually a seltzer, but I'll just sip it and chug it with your shot. Sorry.
Is it a hard seltzer or is it?
Yeah. It's not fucking lemon lime like bowl and basket. Like,
Hey, you never know, fam.
I could be wrong.
Yeah.
That is go.
Cheers, fellas, to the XFL. Matt McGloin.
Penn State great.
Got benched.
And say something.
Let's talk about how hard it is to get benched in the fucking XFL as a former pro quarterback.
Yeah, it's called calling out your coach.
It's called not being good on the field.
Nick, I want to ask you though, because you said this is a bad time. I mean, like, luckily I'm stupid and I'm into every sport. I adopted like the Red Bulls, so this is like normally the MLS. I'm a huge Kansas Jayhawk fan. Actually, they're not ranked for the first time since 2009 in college basketball, which is wild to me. You don't like get into any of those sports, hockey, college basketball, anything?
I used to like hockey around 1994-95. In fact, I actually went to the game that the Devils beat the Flyers to go to the Stanley Cup Finals to, I believe, inevitably sweep the Red Wings, the Detroit Red Wings. I think they beat in the Stanley Cup. So I was a big follower that year. But when they went on strike, I never came back. NBA basketball, I've done fantasy for that, but I'm just not a huge basketball fan. I like NCAA, but I don't have like a favorite team. I just like March Madness. Sir, what do you got?
NASCAR is returning, sir. Let's get it.
We're
going to have Ed back on if NASCAR's on.
Can I come on for that? Because I have a list I want to share with you guys for that. I did a show back like a year and a half. It was one of my first shows. It was called NASCAR or Not. And I wrote about 20 to 30 things you'd rather watch over NASCAR. And I'm interested what you guys would pick.
30 things you'd rather watch than NASCAR.
It might have
went
been 50.
I
It might
went
have
to
been
a
50.
live race one time,
Yeah.
and it was, I'm not even kidding, it was the most boring thing I've ever done in my entire life.
Nick.
Like, after the third time they went around, I was like, how many more times are they going to go around? And I think it was like, let's just say 50 or 60 more
Yeah.
times. I don't remember. It might have even been over 100. I don't remember at this point, but it was the longest period of my life.
I went to whatever Danica Patrick does. Formula is that I don't know which.
Indy.
That's dates Aaron Rodgers, or did.
She
Yeah.
did multiple things, Scott.
No, but
so-
that's Indy, sir. That's Indy.
IndyCar, yeah.
I went up to Canada and they had like a race there at the time, and we were in a suite. Like my cousin took me, and we had free alcohol and everything. Still didn't do it for me. Like I all I heard my whole life is when you're at a race, I'm sure you did, Nick, too. When you're there, I hate that, by the way. When you're there,
Yeah, no, it's even worse when you're there.
yeah, I didn't
You
like
went
it.
to a time out. You went to a playoff hockey game
Right.
where a team clinched to go to the Stanley Cup, and that didn't hook you for. I mean,
Yeah, really, Nick.
because all the other sports, right? You go to, there's kind of like a lull in action, right? So when hockey, if you're there, hockey from period to period, nonstop action, very minimal
The
delay.
best.
And when you go,
Yep.
even the intermission, right? You're like, oh, I finally got to go pee. You could barely get to the bathroom to pee and come back, or stand in line for a drink and come back, and they're already ready to go. Watching hockey live is easily the best sport to watch live.
I agree with that. I do.
Like,
Hockey live is a lot of fun. Like a lot of fun.
nonstop action, hitting.
They
everything.
went on strike, and that was it for. I mean, if you know anything about me, even if you just know very minimal about me, when I like a team, like that's it. Like I like a team, and I put everything I have into liking this team, and I only have room in my heart for two: the Mets and the Eagles. I can't do it for anything else. I just
Right.
can't do it. Like you were with me when the Eagles won the Super Bowl. I think I sat down for maybe 5 minutes. I made all this.
Gave me-
I couldn't eat.
You gave me one
It
of the
was
strongest
just-
bear hugs of all time when they won. You're like, they won the Super Bowl, and fuck, my back still.
That
hurts.
was because Brady throws a Hail Mary and everything, and you watch the ball bounce, and it hits the ground, and then like I'm waiting for a flag because it's the Patriots, and I'm looking at that, no flag. I look at the time, 0-0-0. I'm like, no time, no penalty, no time, no, and it's like computing in my brain. I'm like, the Eagles just won the Super Bowl. Yeah, that was a great moment. That was a lot of fun.
Nick, when he does come on, though, I love it was anything from like poker to rowing to sailing. So I'd love to know your guys' take on these. I'll even make a new list. So it should be interesting.
There's a lot.
Was paint drying one of the?
No, I'd rather watch NASCAR than that. But it went to as far as like me gluing a Monopoly board to the pieces to the board as a sculpture. And people would rather watch that.
In answer to your original question, though, the one thing that gets me from Super Bowl Sunday to opening day of Major League Baseball, and that's the road to WrestleMania. And this is a poor segue into the fact that, because we didn't run through our promos, that on Mark's side of the ring this Thursday, we have Carlito, Caribbean Cool, the professional wrestler who came out. I spit in the face of people who don't want to be cool. He's coming in for an interview, 40 minutes, going to talk the Rumble, going to talk everything. Super excited about that. I can tell you right now, Miguel has not slept. He is working round the clock on questions for Caribbean Cool. And Fred DeCourt is somewhere partying. Nobody's seen him. He's super excited about getting Carlito on the show. So he's super excited for that. So
The thing is, though, Nick's been there. Nick's interviewed, Moose, Licata, Merrill Reese. So he knows the deal. He's like, whatever, I've been there before. I interviewed Sarah Karloff, and sooner or later, Fred and Miguel will realize these are just people, and there's no reason to get that excited. They're just like you and me, man. But good for you guys. Good for you guys.
Nick,
that was a good get. Yeah, I'm excited about that.
Just hear me out and take it from experience. do not let Michelle anywhere near the live broadcast or the video of Carly. Just from experience, I'm just saying don't do it. I don't know.
I don't think Carlito, although I'll say Carlito, I believe he's over 40 now at this point, was in the greatest shape I think I've ever seen him in. It's so good that they don't drug test the returning stars because my man was ripped and he was in good shape. But
He ate a lot of apples, all right?
I don't think Michelle, although he is Puerto Rican, so I don't know, maybe. But, so anyway, that's what we have on. Say it again?
He said he had a lot of apples. They're good for you. They got a lot of fiber and stuff.
This is true. So that's what we got on Mark's side of the ring, and that episode's dropping on Saturday, although we're doing the interview on Thursday. Scott, who do you have on for Friday?
Okay, I got a few things going here. All right, Friday we got not a battle rapper. He's actually a musician. I would consider him from the Bay Area, Satire. He's actually someone I've followed since like 2007. I used to watch all his battles. He makes music I would consider like rap type with a little rock twist in it. It's not necessarily rap, but he was nice enough to come on. It was really cool, man. Like, just a quick story about him. Like, his mom kind of forged a birth certificate to get him into kindergarten at 3 years old when you're not supposed to be in it. So, like, he learned words and shit real young, and he ended up graduating high school at 16 because, like, no one really found out. He talks about this, so I'm not exposing anything. And just, like, the story about how he got into music is really cool. And other than that, we got a website dropping. Well, it's already out, TruExactRadio.com, but the shop is dropping this weekend. I'm going Thursday to work on it with Brian, and we are dropping it. It's an order fulfillment, so these guys here, they can't get you free shit unless they buy it themselves from the site. It's not like we are personally having the material. So, like, you can't reach out to Nick, sir, or Tim and be like, get me a shirt. It's not like they have it in their closet. You have to go order on the website, and the shipping comes to you and stuff like that. So, what's up, Tim?
Real quick. If any of our fans order merchandise that have our symbols on it or whatever, shoot me a text, DM me, do whatever you have to. You'll be entered into an exclusive giveaway that I promise will be worth your time and effort. It's not going to be the $25 big time giveaway, which is going to happen on Twitch. Hopefully we get some more user input on Twitter, but we will promise to make it worth your while to rep our gear.
And it'll be everything it'll be every show. So it'll be Sharp Bets, it'll be TruExact Show, TruExact Radio logo, Random University with Brian and Ellie. It'll also be Mark's side of the ring. So I sent you guys pictures. There's going to be everything from T-shirts to pajama jumpsuits to dog bandanas to shot. There's basically going to be like 100 items per show that's printed on, and it'll just ship to you guys. So, like, that's it really. And EP dropping with me and Matt Hatter, who Brian on the Random U, February 19th. We played some songs there. Got a few videos coming out in the coming weeks. And that's it. Keep just pumping our shit out, guys. Thanks a lot. We really appreciate it. And this is Ren Thomas's hat. He's a friend of the show. So if you want to check him out, he was nice enough to come on our show and gives us kind of exclusives. So that's all.
After all that, that's all the time we have, guys. Thanks for tuning in for Sharp Bet. No, I'm just kidding. And one more promo, and then we'll get into the show itself. But so we have a friend of the show, PJ North, who I met through Scott. He's a country music singer from, where's he from, Scott? You know?
Nashville, actually. Actually, he's from Michigan. He's in Ohio. No, he's from Nashville, Ohio, but he's a Michigan fan, and he lives in Nashville now. Nashville.
So if you're a country music fan, we're gonna play one of his newest singles, "Beers We Haven't Drank." I'll tell you right now, I'm not a big country music fan, but I listened to the song multiple times to get the rhythm and everything, and listen to the lyrics. He's probably my favorite country music singer. I mean, he's really super good. Yeah. So not to put him over super much, but I know he checks out the shows. I know he's a fan of the shows. I know he's a fan of TruExact. He's a big-time wrestling fan. We had him on Mark's side before, but we're going to play his song at the end. If you're a country music fan, you should definitely check it out. At the end, Tim will probably do some weird worm dance. Sir will look like he's looking right now. And, who knows what will happen after that.
Yeah, there's times I text PJ, and I'm like, you got me listening to country music in New Jersey, man. He's like, good. And I'm like, no, it's not good. Like, fuck yeah.
He's talented, and the song is good. So I'm looking forward to you guys checking it out and listening to it on the Twitch. But We'll talk about the Super Bowl
real quick, Nick. Real quick. Scott, back to the merchandise. Are there onesies available?
I don't know that. Maybe. I'm not sure.
You got 100 items. It's got to be a onesie.
Yeah. So I don't know. Sorry about that. You got to check it out. Check out the site. Check out the site this weekend. You'll fucking find out.
All right. Sorry, Nick. Didn't mean to cut you off there.
No, it's all good. So we'll talk about the Super Bowl. And obviously the Super Bowl was now at this point 2 days ago. There's no point in really breaking it down frame by frame. You guys, if you're watching us, you're big sports fans. You're big betting fans. I'm sure you're a WFAN fan or an ESPN fan. You've gotten your breakdown. You've heard everything about the Super Bowl and all of that good stuff. So what I'd like to do is kind of break it down from like a betting standpoint and like what did I learn from betting. And I feel like for me, what I learned most from this Super Bowl is to not like buy into the hype. And what I mean by that is like everybody understands that Patrick Mahomes is the greatest quarterback right now.
Right.
And, when it's all said and done, he could arguably be the greatest quarterback of all time. Talented, most talented. I think at this point we can all just say Brady's the best quarterback of all time. That being said, I came on this show a week ago and I told you, I said it. I said, gun to my head, I feel like I might go KC. If it was at 3.5, I'm taking Tampa Bay. Something in my head is telling me to take Tampa Bay. I think their defense up front will be able to get through the offensive line. I think their offensive line, Kansas City's, is banged up. I think they're going to be able to get to the quarterback, and I think they're going to win the game. It's exactly what happened, but the ESPN, hype machine or whatever it is that, Patrick Mahomes, so much so that if you went on DraftKings at halftime, they're down, I believe it was 11 or 13 or 11. I think it was 11. They're down 11. They're still getting, they're still favored to win the game down 11. And right then and there, I should have said, nothing about this game script. And I understand the Super Bowl from 2 years ago, sir. We're not going to get into it, but they were losing. They came back and won. But that was a completely different, earmuffs. That was a completely different game from this past game. They didn't look good at all. They couldn't get the ball off. Their receivers were dropping everything outside of Tyreek Hill and Kelsey. I mean, shit was hitting people in the face and just dropping it. Tim, you text me in the third quarter. You text me in the fourth quarter. You're like, oh, Kansas City, they're plus 550. Oh, Kansas City, they're plus 750. Oh, Kansas City, they're plus 1050. Like, we have to get out of the idea that, like, what we hear in all this bullshit hype is the truth. Because at the end of the day, we all watched with our own eyes exactly what we knew would happen. They had a journeyman right tackle. They had a banged-up offensive line, and Patrick Mahomes ran damn near 500 yards, on all other directions, and couldn't get the plays off. I will say that after watching that game, if you gun to your head, and I'll go to any of you guys because I think all of your answers are the same. You watch that Super Bowl. You're not a fan of football, but you're tuning in for the big game. You're tuning in for the Super Bowl. You watch that game. You know their ages. If I ask you right now, which one of the quarterbacks do you want to start your season next year? You're a liar if you don't say Patrick Mahomes. The guy made some of the most athletic plays. I mean, where he's vertical like Superman and he gets that ball off. Some of the most athletic plays I've ever seen in my life. But he's, we got to get off the hype. We have to watch and see what we're seeing and bet on what we're seeing. That's what I learned from the Super Bowl. That being said, I didn't win any bets. The closest I got was if Tampa Bay's defense scored a touchdown, I would have won about $700 or $800 on a parlay. And we all should have known Gronk was going to get the fucking ball. Like, I'm sure some people bet anytime touchdowns for Gronk. I know Kyle, who's watching the show right now. Thanks, Kyle, for tuning in. Had bets on Gronk scoring a touchdown. Like, everybody knew Gronk was scoring a touchdown, but, like, I had Antonio Brown for 2 and 3 touchdowns. Why didn't I have Gronk? Tim, I know you had Sammy Watkins. What did you learn from the Super Bowl that you didn't already know?
Whenever 90% of the world is on one side, take the fucking 10%, right? Like, whenever everyone's like, KC is definitely going to win. And I'll be honest, I was that guy this week, right? I was like, KC's winning the game by 10. But that was also at the point where I thought KC was getting one of their 2 tackles back in the game. And when the game started, right, I knew there was something off. When the first drive, Mahomes is running for his life and gaining yards, I said, well, the Mahomes rushing props hit, but they didn't move the ball outside of that. You know, I had Tyreek Hill for the first touchdown. And when you say Tyreek caught everything, no, he was the first one who caught the ball with his face mask and dropped the ball in the end zone, which would have been a great payout for your boy, but it didn't hit. Alexa, can you just relax? Go over there. Can I get you a bandana next week? Either way. She's on
The
a
dog
regular.
wants his damn bandana.
Come on. She heard about she heard about our store. But no, but seriously. I had Tyreek for first touchdown. It didn't work out. As soon as the second drive was over, right, I was like, there's something about Casey, it doesn't look right. And I went on to DraftKings, like everyone should do, and their live spreads, that's the most amazing thing to have at your fingertips, because even with them down, Casey had kicked the field goal, they were up 3-0. That I forgot. I think it was plus 175 to win the game. Tampa Bay was. I put the Tampa for whatever I had in for my free bets. I put all on KC. I put I think $30 on Tampa Bay to win the game, and it was Tampa Bay 30 to win 100. Right. So I was like, I just don't like what I'm seeing at a KC, and I was like, It was all bad from then on out. Well, I mean, all good technically. I won some money, but not as much as I would have if KC would have actually, I won't say shown up, because, right, Patrick Mahomes played about as good as you can, having nobody blocking for you. Kelsey still balled out, but their other receivers were, if they don't have time in the pocket for those receivers to run past people, their offense is nothing, right? All of their receivers are burners. If they can't, outside of Tyreek Hill, but they never ran Tyreek underneath but one time, and that's the pass that he caught, one pass. You got to be kidding me. It didn't. The way that it was brought up in your mind for KC to win was not shown on Sunday.
Sir, what did you learn?
I didn't learn a damn thing. First of all, you don't bet against Brady in the postseason, bro. I was trying to tell y'all.
You
Like,
did say it.
Brady in the postseason, like, he's a different animal. Like, I don't know. Maybe he doesn't take the regular season seriously, but postseason he flips the switch, and you know it's also, plus the referees were also on the Bucs side a little bit. You know, KC was Super Bowl last year because the referees were on their side. This year they flipped the switch, go to the other side, loser.
I will say that I mean, when you know why the referees were a little more involved than they should be, but Kansas City had penalties. Like they just got called. I mean,
They had penalties last year, but they didn't get called.
But the guy dove at Mike Evans' feet, you know, and people are saying it was tripping. It wasn't. He dove at his feet. What's tripping about that? Scott, does it?
What they were saying is Mike Evans tripped over himself before the guy tackled him, right? So, and the play in the end zone was the worst one, where it's clear, it's uncatchable by fucking 15 yards. You can have Andre the Giant in the end zone jumping, and he's still not catching it, right? So I can understand why some people, the KC fans, could be just a little bit upset, but whatever. You take those two plays away, they don't score a fucking touchdown. You're not winning. You're not winning.
I am surprised Casey only put up 9 points the whole game. Like,
the first time Patrick Mahomes has not had a not that he hasn't, but no running back touchdowns, no touchdowns at all for Patrick Mahomes' offense.
Like, I thought they would easily put up a 20-30 spot, and then Tampa would have to outscore them. To put up 9 points, that was a little surprising.
That under though.
Yeah.
Scott, I'll just say for myself, and I know there's some Giants fans that are watching right now. Loban's watching. There's other Giants fans.
Stop with the nonsense.
For me,
he'll enjoy my take later in the show with a future bet. But go on.
I don't mind. When Tom Brady wins, it doesn't bother me anymore.
Yeah, I don't care.
Because I saw my team beat him. Yeah, we're 1-1 against them. Giants fans are 2-0 against them. But like I saw my team beat him. Like it doesn't bother me anymore when he's in the Super Bowl when he wins. I just sit back and relax and watch who could be the greatest quarterback of all time. Who arguably statistically is probably achievement wise the greatest quarterback of all time. Maybe not statistically. There's people with more talented stats, but Scott, does it bother you at all watching Tom Brady in the Super Bowl?
You're talking to the wrong guy, man. You're talking to someone who had a TB12 hat, who's been riding with him since '04. Like, I love greatness, and I don't get mad at this, and I get mad at people who get mad at it. And I tell guys I work with, I remember, and this is like going a little baseball-wise, but I remember when the Yanks were winning 4 out of 5, right? In 96, 98, my dad looked at me, he said, just enjoy this, you'll never see this again. And at a young age, you're like, what do you mean? They're going to win all the time. And they didn't, and when they lost in 01, I cried. I was like, oh my God, like what's happening? But like, and I try to tell that with people at work now. I always relate that Brady, LeBron, Crosby, like these great players, just appreciate it, man. We've gotten past the age, right? You know, when you're 15, 16, you're getting in arguments with your friends. You're pissed off if your team wins. We're at the age now, man. You could just sit back and enjoy it, even if it's someone you hate. Like I'm a diehard Yankee fan, as you can see back here. But like when people ask me who's the best pitcher I've ever seen, Pedro Martinez. I would put that motherfucker up against anyone. Best hitter I've ever seen before the steroid chip, Manny Ramirez. Like I love those two players. I love Pedro Martinez. He used to, when we were in wiffle ball playing with my brother, I'd put him in my fake lineup as my number one pitcher, even as a Yankee fan. Like, so I never looked at it that way, so I'm like the wrong guy to ask about that. But like you're right, and I want to ask you, Nick, really quick, because the one thing I learned, as you know, we interviewed Merrill Reese. I do know a lot about the Eagles. I'm like into with the Eagles. My brother being an Eagle fan. Andy Reid with his time management. Now, if you watch the NFC Championship, the Packers fucked up at the end of half, calling a timeout, giving Brady a chance. He did the same thing. At that point, like Tim said, you know what Tim said. They weren't playing well. Go into half at 14-6. You call the timeout at a 3rd and 2. I wouldn't have done that there. Brady, all of a sudden, 2 plays later, 21-6, game's over. It's over.
Andy Reid's a horrible clock manager. He's not great with the timeouts, and he's not a risk taker. Now, fast forward to, he's going for it on 4th and 1 with his backup quarterback now, sure, but the clock management, another issue for Andy Reid, and I give Andy Reid a pass, not to get into like the personal stuff he has going on with his son, but it must have been very difficult. I mean, he's a human being. Like we watch it as fans, we watch it as like we're watching a sport. What he's going through with his son is not good. So, and obviously, hopefully, everything's good with the little kid that's in the hospital.
Listen, obviously, real quick, right?
Yeah.
When he's calling timeouts towards the end of half, he's got Patrick Mahomes as his quarterback. He wants another possession before halftime. He's trusting his defense to get a stop. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, right? That's just the way things turned out.
But you're getting the ball. You're getting the kickoff at half, though. Like, you know what I mean?
Let's get the kickoff at half, and let's score points before the half. He's got Patrick Mahomes as quarterback. You're 9 times out of 10. You're taking the timeout that he's get the ball back and score points before half. That's what he's thinking in his mind. Is he thinking his defense is going to give up a fucking touchdown there? No. I mean, obviously, it's a little different circumstance than the week prior, or 2 weeks prior, where Green Bay called a timeout and let them score. But I can understand why. Get out of here, Lex. I can understand why.
Nick,
I'm getting sabotaged here.
Really quick, Nick, because you asked what they learned. I learned, once again, we've talked about this. I've been on the show 3 or 4 times. It's a team sport. You got the greatest quarterback in the world. You don't have an offensive line. It doesn't matter. Like, and we've always talked about that. I hate when people say, like, Patrick Mahomes is 0-2 versus Tom Brady. No, Patrick Mahomes didn't lose to Tom Brady. The Bucs beat the Chiefs. So, like, quarterbacks, the ones, like, I always, of course, like, go to that. You can't bring up quarterback versus quarterback. It's not fair. It's not like LeBron versus KD. You're not covering each other. And it's just a team fucking sport, and we learned that again, man. And I would have put my house up if someone said the Chiefs won't score a touchdown, like Sir said. They didn't score a touchdown. I would put my house up on that. I am shocked.
The odds on that were 15-1. How were the odds on that 15-1?
Yeah, why is it that low?
Talk about at halftime, you could have put up, I think it was 200 to win 1,400. One of my Facebook friends, if they happen to tune in, I'm not going to drop their name, but they put $200 at halftime for them not to score a touchdown and walked away with $1,400, which you got a sack on you to bet that either way.
Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
A couple points. You said that Pedro Martinez was the best pitcher you ever seen.
yeah.
As a Yankee fan, the Yankees used to give him that business, bro.
Not early in his career. Not early in his career. He would put up 18 strikeouts. The thing with Pedro and Nick, I know you're avid baseball, like he was on your team at one point. Pedro, the one thing about him, his fastball could go to 98 and his changeup could go to 69. That's
no. I'm not saying he's
like,
a scrub. I'm just saying the best you've ever seen. Debatable. Now hold on, but the best hitter though is what I'm saying. Manny Ramirez, you said his best hitter.
Personally, yeah.
Did you ever watch Barry Bonds?
Yes. But Manny Ramirez, don't forget, I'm an AL East guy, so I saw Manny.
I'm a Yankee fan as well. So, but I'm just saying, like Barry Bonds as a hitter, I would take over Manny Ramirez.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Manny used to set guys up and tip off fastballs just so they throw another fastball and he'd hit a fucking home run. Like to me, that's
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm just saying Barry Bonds was a better hitter than Manny Ramirez.
Probably. I'm just like saying off the cuff, man. Like when people ask me, it's just like, oh yeah, Manny Ramirez. Like to me was
definitely one of the most dangerous hitters.
Yeah, maybe he killed Mariano too. So like he fucking it was insane.
Well, Loman brings up a good point on Twitch. Do you guys forget Mr. Backwards had himself?
Griffey Jr.
I know.
He wasn't a better hitter than Manny.
Ken Griffey Jr. If he didn't get hurt, he'd be the all-time home run leader.
Fact. That's a fact. Yeah.
Big bets. Actually, quick story. Me and Loman's company, I forget how we got the tickets, but we saw Griffey play when he was on the Reds at Old Yankee Stadium the year that they were closing it down. And Griffey hit, I think, 601, right? He's got 600-something home runs. We missed his 600 home run by like one game. Former company. Sorry, Loman. Yeah, you're right.
I take my beating and just... sir, you actually got me on that, Barry Bonds. So can I reiterate and say Manny's one of the best hitters I've ever seen?
All right, one of them. Okay.
All right, there we go. I'll take my beating on that.
I'm saying, I got you, old boy. I got you.
I'll take my beating on that.
Take the L, just like you think Tony Romo's a good quarterback. And
hey, you got one game in Lambeau to get to the Super Bowl. Who you taking, Romo or Breeze? 30-degree weather and fucking blizzard.
We move on, Nick.
Let's move on.
Breeze.
You'll lose.
Hold on, but to one point though, with the Chiefs though, I am now seeing how they played on Sunday. I'm curious to see how they're going to perform when Mahomes' contract kicks in, because you can't afford all those top. You can't afford the Tyreek Hills. You can't afford the Travis Kelce's. Also, Mahomes' stats in Super Bowls not impressive. He did like last year. He got the dub, but his stats weren't the best.
Yeah, and that's what happened.
I don't know.
You're playing against the best, right, in the Super Bowl.
No, absolutely.
The best team.
I mean, to get there is a good thing. But like I'm saying, but his stats, if you're paying him what's he making? $500 million or something stupid? Come on, like you're paying him that much money to take over a team, and now you pay him that money. You can't play everybody else.
You saw it happen with the Seahawks and Ravens too. The Seahawks and Ravens. Like when they paid Flacco, they sucked for a couple of years. The Seahawks lost their Legion of Boom, you know?
Yeah, they paid Russ. They lost the Legion of Boom. You know what I'm saying? You pay a quarterback.
Did you guys see? Have you guys seen what Russ is saying today?
Yeah.
He's upset so much. I mean, come on, dude. You take all that money. You get that money to protect you?
Do you want to be the highest paid player, or do you want to be like Tom Brady? And let's not all make Tom Brady sound like he's a martyr for taking less money. His wife is worth $500 million. So
it's not more.
It's easy to take less money when your wife makes way more than you, and it's worth way more than you. But sir, I want to ask you this. So on the radio today, the big topic was this one of the all-time great runs by a quarterback to win a Super Bowl? I'll tell you right now, I don't agree, but I want to turn it to Sir first. So their points that they made on it were, you beat Drew Brees, you beat Aaron Rodgers, and you beat Patrick Mahomes to win the Super Bowl. Was this one of the all-time great runs? To me, he beat Heineke, who had the ball in his hands to end the game, could have won that game. And he took 7 turnovers between Brees and Rodgers to win both of those games. And he threw for 200 yards in the Super Bowl because the defense had that game on lockdown. It's all he needed to do. Do you think this is the greatest quarterback run to win a Super Bowl?
In one word, no. Because honestly, I attribute this to the Eli Manning syndrome. Apparently, a bunch of Giant fans. Oh, Eli won his 2 rings. No, they didn't. Yes, he has 2 rings, but he is not the sole purpose for them having those rings. The defense played lights out for him in those Super Bowl runs. Yes, Eli put up 4,000 yards, but most of the times, losing record. They made the postseason and then the defense, that pass rush got after it, just like Tampa. Tampa got into the playoffs. The defense played much better than they did during the regular season. They balled out this whole run. As you said, they picking off passes, holding the Chiefs to 9 points. That defense pretty much is one of the reasons why they have a ring.
I don't think any one of us are Eli Manning fans, but I will say the first run, first of all, when they beat the Cowboys and they beat the Packers, to go to the Super Bowl, and I think it was the Bucks in the first round of the playoffs, but to go to the Super Bowl and then beat the undefeated Patriots, I'll take that run over this Brady run, and I'll take the run where they beat the 15-1 Packers, who were by far the best Packers team Aaron Rodgers was ever a part of, and then beat the Niners, where that was a great Niners team. I'm sorry to bring it up, sir, but I'll take either one of those. I'll take either one of those runs by Eli Manning, and I understand the defense was the reason why, but I would take either one of those over Tom Brady's run. What do you got, Scott?
I have another run, and I think the guy is one of the worst quarterbacks who ever won a Super Bowl. Joe Flacco went into Denver, beat Peyton Manning on a Hail Mary, went into New England, beat Tom Brady. And then he beat Kaepernick in the Super Bowl. And he threw 8 touchdowns or no interceptions. So, you want to talk – this is what you said, Nick. Stop buying into the hype. These analysts are fucking idiots. They're all just idiots. Yeah. It's all bullet points. It's all buzzwords. You'll see the best. You'll turn on ESPN and be like, if Batman was on the Ravens, would Robin play for the – it's just horrible fucking TV. Nobody takes things in a perspective aspect. And like you said – Tom Brady didn't beat Aaron Rodgers. He threw 3 picks. The Bucks team won the game. It's a fucking team sport, man. I can't stand this shit. There's been 13-3 he beat the Rams. How much the best game Tom Brady played was versus the Eagles, and he lost. That was his best Super Bowl, and he lost. So we got to get over this as a country, as an analyst. Is these records. It's fucking infuriating, man. Bitter Cowboy fan. Cowboy fan.
Against the Falcons, when they came back, Brady put up some numbers that game.
Yeah, but he did throw 3 picks, and they might not.
One of them was like a tip.
He put up some numbers.
Right.
Yes, it was the Falcons, but he did put up some numbers in that game.
He did. I will say that this segment could probably be called raining shit on Sir, since we've mentioned the Giants beating them in the playoffs, Kaepernick
right
in the playoffs.
Again,
people, I will say about the Giants.
Think of bad memories.
I'll say about
I got
the Giants.
Kyle Williams in my head, the holding calls that weren't called, penalties that were. Come on, fam.
Let's not forget about the fumble Bradshaw had. They blew the whistle when they stripped the ball in overtime. The Giants, listen, you'll never take away the rings. They had the luckiest 2 fucking runs I've ever seen. And God bless them, I'd take it. I would take it in a heartbeat, but it's just everything went their way. Every bounce went their way.
Williams had no business being in that game, and he cost us a ring.
Tim.
Just to put it real quick.
Yeah.
For the Giants run, we'll sum it up real quick. It took 4 miracle plays, easy for me to say, to get them 2 championships. And no, we can't take it away. But stop. Eli is not elite. He never will be. He'll be one of the 2 quarterbacks to go into the Hall of Fame with losing records in the regular season, and we'll just call it as that. We won't mention who the other quarterback is because JTS, Jets. But it's fine.
You can't spell elite without Eli.
Yeah, whatever you just fucking said, sir. It's fine. You know what? You can't spell Super Bowl without San Francisco. It doesn't fucking make sense either. But it is what it is.
Not true.
So it does look like I'm sure you guys heard. I'm sure you guys heard about this story. It does look like it might be true. So Super Bowl streaker claims he won $375,000 for a stunt. He basically bet on himself. I'll say this: it's now being picked up by TMZ Sports, and he even lists the site he used. Bovada was offering plus 750. So as you know from our Betting 101 show, that plus 750 means if you bet 100, you win 750. So this guy, if you don't know the story, basically the streaker on the field that ran on the field in the third or fourth quarter, basically bet on himself to do that. He put down, let's see, he's a 31-year-old guy. It doesn't say how much money he put down. I guess it would have been if it's plus 750.
50K, and he put 50K on this bet. It's that there would be a streaker during the Super Bowl. His genius idea was he had one of his friends actually be the streaker in the Super Bowl. The bet paid out $375K. So after paying $1,000 to bail his boy out of jail, he took home a pretty penny.
Is it true? Definitely?
Hold on,
you know
sir.
what? I hope it's true, but if it's true,
he's given the site that he did it on.
That is genius. I'm not even going to.
It is.
Sir, he was a streaker, or
I think his friend was.
I thought what happened is that there were 2 guys in on it.
Oh, right? No, there was. Yeah, he had his friend come in first to be like the, and then he come in. But either way, whether him doing it, his friend doing it, that's genius. Like, bruh, like to have that kind of I'm gonna put a bet that's gonna be a streaker, and then I'm gonna do it. Like, bruh, I can't. I'm not even mad at him.
I wouldn't even do that.
How? What was the site called?
Bovada. It's a site.
It's a legit site.
Did he fucking get paid out 700 some odd grand? Is there proof that that's in his bank account?
375. Yeah, 375K.
Yeah. It doesn't look like. I mean, I don't know, but he had an interview with Wild 94.1 where he explained it. The guy's name's Yuri Andrade, so I don't know, but he had somebody work as a decoy. It's being picked up by me. I thought it was fake news as well. I just didn't understand, based on the way it was worded, the guy technically wasn't a streaker. He pulled his pants down, but he was wearing clothes. So if he bet on a streaker, the guy wasn't a streaker. Who's paying that out? But it does look like it might be true. So my question to Scott is, do you want to go to the Super Bowl with me next year? I have an idea.
To streak? Absolutely not. I'd be too embarrassed. I'm packing minimal here, man. No, fuck that.
$375,000.
How cold is Dick ain't playing for $375, Scott?
How cold is that?
Where's the Super Bowl next year? In SoFi?
I don't know. I don't even know.
I think.
No, I would never even if I placed the bet, I'd have a hard time doing it. It's
if you pitch the bet, you're not committed. You got to do it you got to do it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
50K, come on.
Logan wants
to get out of jail. Okay, so you
that would be the furriest freaker. They think it's a fucking dog.
Loman's in. Yeah, Loman.
Loman's in. It would be a fucking dog running across the goddamn screen. Yeah, he's a little furry.
So let's talk about this.
Not coming on. God, I can't get rid of him. Where's my headset at?
What's going on?
I think Tim is broken. Tim, what's going on, buddy?
All right, I got one half of my headphones ready right now. The half coming next week.
He's talking about Sal Licata.
We'll get Sal back. We're gonna get him back.
Sal will be on WFAN tomorrow from 10 to 2, FYI. But so let's look at
I'm calling him.
since it looks like we're running long on the Super Bowl. This will probably be the only topic that we talk about at this point. Let's talk about early futures bets for next year's Super Bowl. So what we'll do is I'll read them each out. I want each one of you, we're going to do it like, what's that show with CeeLo Green where after they decide to pick the singer, they hit the button and then they turn around and see the singer?
Voice.
So we're going to do that. I'm going to give you each one of the odds. You stop me when you would take that bet on that. Ready?
How much money am I putting though? $100?
Assuming you're putting $100.
You got it.
The favorite, the Chiefs, plus 550.
Yes.
Okay, why?
I just, like I said, I think they're going to – I said a week ago they're going to fucking win 4 in a row. I was obviously wrong. I mean, that's a pretty high number for a team that could easily get back. So I would do that. Can I do more than one?
No, that's it. That's your one.
Oh, that sucks.
Do you want to
Yeah, I'll take it back then because we're going with value with money here. I got you. Okay.
Correct.
You should
Green Bay Packers, plus 900. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, plus 900. Baltimore Ravens, plus 1,200. Buffalo Bills, plus 1,200. Matthew Stafford's LA Rams, plus 1,300.
That's the one I'm taking. Yeah, I'm with Tim.
Damn it, Scott.
I'm with Tim.
You guys are both taking the Rams?
I would take KC
Yeah.
for $100, right? I would take the Rams for half of that to get basically the same.
Right.
Not saying that
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead, sir. They haven't said the Niners yet. You can keep fucking waiting.
Tim and Scott are out. The next team, the San Francisco 49ers, plus 1400.
You already know, kid. You already know.
Okay.
That's their quarterback.
Hey, listen.
He's going to be hurt by week 3. Don't worry.
Hold on. Did Jimmy G not take him to Super Bowl?
No, he didn't. The team was good.
Oh, but he was part of it. Oh, Giant fans that Eli Manning took him to Super Bowl, so I can say that, right?
I didn't.
Nick, can I?
Hey, listen. If the Niners didn't suffer everybody and their mama getting hurt, they were. You know what I'm saying? Come on. Now.
Yeah. No, I got you. I'm with you.
True.
Everybody and their mama got hurt this year. What was saying?
Nick, I will also throw donkey dollars on whatever team Deshaun Watson gets traded to.
If he plays, there's words that he might sit out.
Listen, that's fine. Let him sit out. Also, let him get traded to the Jets at plus 8,000 to win the Super Bowl because that is worth
sir,
the donkey dollar.
If it becomes official that he goes to the Jets, that odds are going up. It's going to be like maybe 7,000.
I'll tell you right now. I'm not
plus 8,000 odds. I'm just telling you. You have to put it in. You have to foresee it. You're like, oh, put it in now, and then hope he goes to the Jets. Or
I'm not going to read the rest of them because it's only me left. I'll tell you right now, there's not a doubt in my mind that Bill Belichick will get his quarterback. And if you watch the news and you see what the narrative is and what people are saying, they are some news outlets are starting to put an asterisk next to Bill Belichick because the Patriot way, Tom Brady was able to take that and win a Super Bowl with a different team. So now Bill Belichick is being disrespected over the fact that Tom Brady won a Super Bowl without him. His coaching, his leadership, all being into question, which, let's be fair, if we're counting all of Bill Belichick's rings, he has 8. So, they weren't all as a head coach, but Bill Belichick has 8 Super Bowl rings. So let's just throw that out there.
To that point, I said the Pats did have a lot of opt-outs this year. So, I can't, a lot of their deals.
You get the Patriots, they're going to get a quarterback. You can get the Patriots right now at plus 4,000. Call me a fool, call me a sucker. I don't care. I'm taking the Patriots to win the Super Bowl next year. Let's get Bill Belichick versus Tom Brady in the Super Bowl 56. Tim, how excited would you be as a Jets fan? Bill Belichick, Tom Brady. Something's got to give. 7 versus 8. What do you think? Time out. Let's do some Illuminati shit. 7 times 8 is what?
72?
Oh, you fucking dummy.
56? 56?
Somebody
But
get that
Super Bowl is next year. 56, baby. That's some
Somebody get that
Illuminati shit right now. I'm telling you right now, put $100 on the Patriots. They're winning the Super Bowl.
Listen, the Patriots have a good
Sir,
chance.
I don't know if the Patriots win the AFC East.
Yeah, Sir might be right, yeah.
Oh, time out. The Jets to win the AFC East plus 3,500. I'm just saying.
Might as well burn your fucking money if you're going to do that.
No. You take that money to the bank.
I will say, too, a team that I like to win the conference, and I know it's a weird one, I think, like, for their value, the Giants, I know it's weird, man, plus 3,000 to win
Right.
the
I'm going to have to call a timeout on this one, sir.
I do.
As a Cowboy fan,
Yes.
you are picking Giants to win?
No, value-wise. I'm a realist, though, man. I don't look at it that way. Like, I just don't. Like, if you're telling me they can't win the NFC East, they can, right? And they're a plus 6,600 to win the Super Bowl. I don't think they'll win it, but, like, to win the conference, why not? If they got in, I think that they'll be better next year. I really do.
I think honestly, to Scott's point, there's way less question marks about them than every other team.
Yeah.
We don't know who the Eagles quarterback is going to be. We right now don't know who the Washington football team quarterback is going to be. The Cowboys, you would think it's going to be Dak Prescott, but the Cowboys just put out a hype video for next year's season that did not include Dak Prescott. And I'm not saying anything more than that. We don't know who the quarterback is for 3 of the 4 teams. We know Daniel Jones is going to be the quarterback. We know they have a great pick. We know that Joe Judge had them playing well down the stretch. 66 plus $6,600. If you're a hedging guy, you could put
to win
$100
the whole conference or to win the NFC East.
No, to win the Super Bowl.
The conference is 3,000. The Super Bowl 66. I don't think they'll win the Super Bowl, but like Nick said, if you want to hedge,
time out. But you can. Well, all you need them to do is make it to the Super Bowl, and you can hedge, or to make it to the playoffs, and you could hedge against them.
And they played hard or beat these playoff teams. They almost beat the Bucs.
I don't hate the Giants pick.
I mean, like, I hope it doesn't happen. I think
edge when you get them there.
I hope it doesn't happen. I mean, I think the Cowboys should be better. I think we didn't take into account how much, like, the non-offseason might have affected teams with new coaches. So, I mean, hopefully
Look how long it took for Tom Brady to play well with his new team. Right? That is the most discounted versus the biggest reward. But
The Bucs weren't bad last year, man. If Jameis doesn't throw 30 picks, like, they weren't a bad team.
Yeah, but the Bucs were bad at the beginning of the season, sir. The Bucs were not good. They were not a good football team. It took until week 6 to start to get better, and they just gradually peaked. That's the difference.
I think the thing that's most surprising about the Bucs is Tom Brady went over there. Their defense is elite, but like Rob Gronkowski scored 2 of their 4 touchdowns. He was retired. He came out of retirement to play. Another guy that scored a touchdown for them was Antonio Brown. He wasn't in the league to start the season. The 4th guy to score a touchdown for them was waived by the 1-15 Jacksonville Jaguars because he wasn't good enough. Nobody wanted to give them a 7th-round pick for a guy who was drafted in the 1st round, Leonard Fournette. So you have the 4 touchdowns that were scored by the Tampa Bay Bucs, a guy that was waived by the worst team in football, a guy that wasn't in the league to start the season, and a guy that was retired who scored 2 touchdowns. In fact, the first player, we'll get to you, sir, the first player in NFL Super Bowl history to score the first 2 touchdowns of a game. It's really surprising.
To that
None of them were Tampa Bay Bucs last year.
To that Fournette point, ain't nobody giving up a 7th-round pick to go pay his salary. Like, if you waive him, he becomes waivers, he becomes a whole lot cheaper.
Right,
Yeah.
but I think, Nick, to your point, it just shows Brady. I know he went to a good team. It shows the respect someone demands when they walk in a locker room. Like, you ain't taking no shit. Like, you're Tom Brady. You have 6 rings. You're going to fucking listen. Like, they could have brought in, let's say, a Matt Stafford or a fucking – even a Drew Brees. Like, he doesn't demand that type of respect. Like,
Yeah.
Brady walks in, Mike Evans stands up. Like, all right, let's fucking do this. You know what I mean? So these are guys that have grown up watching him play and are, I've seen this guy win 3 Super Bowls when I was 8 years old. So I think he doesn't get enough credit for that.
You go back to the game where he lost to Nick Foles in, I think, week 4 or 5, I can't remember, but he loses to Nick Foles and the Bears, and the only thing I remember about that game is him screaming at his team on the sidelines and thinking in my head, like, who is this fucking guy? At the time, they had lost to the Saints. I don't know what their record was at the time that they played him, but it wasn't a good record. They ended up winning the wild card to make the playoffs in the first place. And you got Tom Brady, and I forget what their odds were. I think it was plus 900, but Tom Brady's willing to take less money. Now you have guys like Mike Evans saying, take some of my money if you need to re-sign some of these guys. Like, they're not a bad pick at plus 900 either because they're going to do what they need to do to be great. And that's why I think Tom Brady, to me, like, you could take the Super Bowls. He's never been the most talented. There's guys with more talent. Aaron Rodgers has more talent. Peyton Manning was a better quarterback regular season. Patrick Mahomes probably has more physical talent than Tom Brady, but, like, Tom Brady will always be a winner because he always does. It's win first and everything else is second thing.
Yeah.
Nick, here's your narrative. What was the last team to win back-to-back Super Bowls?
I guess it would be the Patriots, right?
Yeah.
Tom Brady.
Yeah.
There goes your narrative.
Who is the last team in any of the 4 major sports to win back-to-back championships?
And we're not talking about hockey here.
Is it the stupid Boston Bruins?
No, the Penguins. 2016.
Oh, Penguins. You're a Penguins fan.
It's whatever.
I thought you were Boston Bruins.
Yeah.
Started out there. Penguins, 2016, 2017. Nick, I want to just ask you because his name came up, Russell Wilson. Can we just agree he's the luckiest quarterback of all time for winning that Super Bowl, his defense winning that Super Bowl? Because if he doesn't have that ring, he is known for throwing the biggest interception of all time, and the narrative is completely different. I just want to throw that out there. That's it.
That's not his fucking fault.
Oh, no?
That's not his.
It's not a lot of people's fault, but if that was someone else, they'd get blamed for that interception.
That's not true. That is not true.
All right.
That is the coach's fault.
Right. Who threw the ball?
That is so bad. That was the worst play call in Super Bowl history. That is not Russell Wilson's fault.
You're right.
He put that in a great spot. That was
the Super Bowl's not his either because his defense did everything.
That was the best defensive play in a Super Bowl ever.
Right, except James Harrison, but
no, that's not even the same. Not even in the same breath. Just that's not. Come on, man.
I don't know. That James Harrison interception is fucking awesome.
Yeah, right. The whole play was awesome, right? But that play was to win the Super Bowl.
I'm just saying if that's a quarterback who doesn't have a ring yet, if Matt Stafford throws that interception in a Super Bowl, that guy is getting ridiculed as the guy who can't win the big game. He threw the interception in the big spot. You know that's true.
It depends on who your running back is. I mean, they had the greatest short yardage running back, like, of that time. All you needed was 1 yard.
In that year.
Yeah.
And timeout. I don't want to over saturate things. But the dude who made the tackle on Andre Dyson, the Rams against the
Mike Jones.
Maybe that's the best play, the best defensive stop in Super Bowl. Either way, the Rams.
I'm going Brandon Graham strip sack Tom Brady. I mean, the guy, that to me is the best defensive.
All right, but we digress, Vic. We know. Can we go on to who's going to win the Super Bowl? To who's going to win the MVP in 2021?
Can I make one point? Can I say congratulations to Alex Smith for winning Comeback Player of the Year?
Shut the hell up, sir.
Oh boy.
That made-up award? Yeah, congrats.
Sir, we're already at an hour, sir.
Sir woke up to 100 text messages on Sunday.
All right, we're gonna do the same thing. You stop me, but you get the value at what you get. Patrick Mahomes plus 5. This is for NFL MVP. Patrick Mahomes plus 500. Aaron Rodgers plus 800. Josh Allen plus 1,300. Russell Wilson plus 1,300. Matt Stafford plus 1,500. Tom Brady plus 1,600. Lamar Jackson plus 1,600. Dak Prescott plus 1,700.
I want to, but I can't.
I'll continue. Deshaun Watson plus 1,700. Justin
There
Herbert.
you go.
If Sir wants him, sir, you can have him.
No. Actually, I was actually debating taking the Josh Allen at 1,300 because I'm saying the brother balled. I'm saying like he balled out this year, and as I said, I think Stephon Diggs is going to come back motivated because after the L, he was out there in the field staring at the Chiefs hold up the trophy. I think he's going to be good.
You got Justin Herbert at plus 1,800, Kyler Murray at plus 1,800, Ryan Tannehill at plus 2,500, and then it becomes Derrick Henry, Christian McCaffrey. I can't imagine anybody's picking a running back. Baker Mayfield plus 4,000, Carson Wentz plus 4,000, Jameis Winston plus 4,000.
I would take a flyer on Dalvin Cook. What's he at?
33 or 36, 66.
Yeah. Dalvin Cook plus 6,600. Yeah.
Maybe. Running backs are hard though, like you said. It's tough.
See, here's where the MVP gets. It's really skewed.
Sir, what are the odds of Mr. Jimmy Garoppolo, sir?
It's not even on the list.
Plus $12,500.
Oh, he actually made your
I'll
list?
take a donkey on Mr. Jimmy G because usually the MVP goes to the team generally with a favorable record, correct?
Yes.
When they get their people back, and now that they came in last this year, they have a last place schedule. Mathematics,
I will say he's got the same odds to win MVP as Jalen Hurts.
Ugh.
12.
I'm just
I
saying.
hate to be
Y'all
a
better
homer.
put
Last place
$1 on
schedule
it.
this year.
Y'all have lost more donkey dollars to me this year. Y'all better put that bet in. Just put $1 on your boys. Listen, we'll all put $1 on our quarterback, right? So I got Sam Darnold at plus 8,000 or whatever is he?
I would wait for that one because they may trade Mr. Darnold.
Yeah, what quarterback am I picking for mine?
Yeah, Jalen Hurts.
Well, he's not the quarterback right now.
I'd hate to be a homer, but Dak at plus 1,700 isn't a bad bet.
I don't hate Dak at
That's
plus
not a bad
1,700.
bet.
If he comes back healthy with the weapons that he has,
And if they franchise him again, which they probably will, so he's playing for that contract, that's not a bad bet.
I don't hate it, honestly.
Never don't sign a long-term deal. Fucking Dak got fucked.
Yeah, they offered it to him.
Hey, listen, the flyer that I like the most outside of Deshaun Watson, depending on what team he goes to, but Justin Herbert coming back at 1,800, he had a phenomenal rookie season. And speaking of rookie seasons that got cut short, Joe Burrow at plus 5,000, if he comes back healthy, that team can only get better. It can't get worse, right?
It can't get worse.
And he was still putting up respectable numbers. He would have been the rookie of the year, the offensive rookie of the year, if he did not get hurt. I guarantee that.
He probably would have, but the problem is if you're we're just doing it on odds. We're just doing it on stats. Usually the guy that wins MVP of the season makes the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right.
You're in a division with the Ravens and the Cleveland Browns and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who all
I like how you
made
put
the
up Pittsburgh last.
playoffs.
You could argue he's the worst quarterback in that division if you
Yes.
really want to argue it.
Like,
That's not
So
true.
he's-
You could argue it, though. There is an argument to be had.
right off the bat, 6 of your games are against teams that
Yeah.
made the playoffs last year. Now you're factoring in, I don't know the rest of their schedule, but it's like, I don't know, man. That's tough.
If they win, if Cincinnati somehow wins the division, right? Then anything can happen, right? If they win the division, all division games are close, right? No matter who you play. If they win those division games, it's listen, it's plus 5,000. It's not going to happen, but for $10,
Go for it. Yeah.
dumber picks, right?
Yeah. I'll say their 2021 season, they're home against we'll forget the Ravens, the Browns, and the Steelers. We know that. They're also home against the Packers, the Chiefs, the Chargers, the Vikings, and the Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence's Jaguars.
So if they win the division,
Oh yeah, he's got it. You're good then. Yeah.
Okay. Well, there you go.
Their away games, and again, we'll leave out the three teams in the North. They got the Bears, they got the Broncos, they got the Lions, they got the Raiders, and they got the New York Football Jets.
Okay, so those are all wins. All right. They could be.
I would almost take Trevor Lawrence as the MVP over Joe Burrow just because of the default factor of playing in that division.
Unbelievable. Well, that's it. I mean, we ran through the Super Bowl. We had other topics in line just in case we finished the Super Bowl early. We did not finish the Super Bowl early. We ran it the entire time. Tim, what do you got?
Hold on. I actually wrote down the NBA prop for tonight. If those want to gamble super late in the evening, right? So there's 3 late games. They all start at 10 o'clock. This is the special for tuning into Twitch. Put it in if you want. If you win, thank me. If you lose, blame sir. So the first game is Boston and the Jazz. Rudy Gobert, double-double, minus 286. They've given up 4 straight double-doubles to the best player on the opposing team. That is the Celtics. So Rudy Gobert, get your double-double win. Game 2 is the Sixers against the Kings. Joel Embiid over 30.5 points, minus 110. They just gave up 50 points to the Joker. They play the same position. Big game for Joel Embiid tonight. And the last game, I took Portland minus 6.5, minus 110. Sir, I don't know who they play tonight. Somebody terrible. I forgot to write the team name down, but
Is it Orlando?
The Magic. The Magic.
I got Orlando. Yeah.
The Magic have lost to just about everyone they played. They're hurt. They're not good. 6.5 is a no-brainer, even though Portland just lost to the Knicks. Knicks are a great team.
I actually have some props as well. If to that same game, to the Jazz game, take over 35.5 points, rebounds, and assists for Donovan Mitchell. With Mike Conley being out, he's the primary ball handler. So take that bet and run with it. He should put up about 40 total, with points, rebounds, assists. For the Orlando game, go Nikola Vucevic, over 10.5 rebounds. He's a rebounding machine. Yeah, you're welcome. You know what I'm saying? He's been a rebounding machine. He should get that. And I don't know if the Warriors are a late game, but I put Draymond Green over 7.5 assists. I don't know if they started yet, though. So,
Any other bets?
Good.
well, most of my other bets the games have started already. So.
I would take Georgetown over Creighton in NCAA tonight. That's all. And that game starts now, so go.
And live bet it, because those.
But I do like a lot. So put that one in because he's gonna have a monster game tonight.
Hey, before we go, can I roll the big time challenge?
Yeah, roll it, and then let's hit PJ Saul.
All right. Danny Bones wins the big time challenge. I will reach out to him via text message to let him know that he took a dub. God, the dog is just ruining the whole night here.
Oh, the dog's making it. Let's put him on instead of you.
It's a she, all right? And
You want to hit PJ? So, guys, as we promised the end of the show, we have a hit song by friend of the show, PJ North. Like I said at the start of the show, I'm not a big country music fan, but I think that this song is really good, and I think PJ North is super talented. Beers we haven't drank. So without further ado, Tim, lay that dope-ass country beat.
Home team every fall Friday. Teenage dream in blue jeans, trying to catch her name. Sometimes you get lost in a moment, want a bottle it up, don't lose it. Yeah, we've done a lot of cool shit, got a lot of cool shit left to do. Here's to the girls we haven't met, all of those long nights we haven't had just yet. Drunk kiss we don't remember, think about it for forever, cause it's every other memory. Here's to the Firestones hitting the road, all of the smiles we're signs and every single county line. Living small town, big dreams. And here's to the beers we haven't drank. When girlfriends turn to exes, it ain't as bad as you think. For the good times can't rewind, and they'll be gone in a blink. But sometimes you get lost in a moment. Want a bottle lit up, don't lose it. You gotta hold on to it. Here's to the girls we haven't met. All of those long nights we haven't had just yet. Drunk kiss we don't remember. Think about it for forever, cause it's every other memory. Here's to the Firestones hitting the road. All of the smiles we're gonna roll. Blown through stop signs and every single county line. Living small town, big dreams. And here's to the beers we haven't drank. Yeah, we've done a lot of cool shit. Got a lot of cool shit left to do. Here's to the girls we haven't met. All of those long nights we haven't had just yet. Drunk kiss we don't remember. Think about it for forever, cause it's every other memory. Here's to the Firestones hitting the road. All of those miles we're gonna roll. Blown through stop signs and every single county line. Living small town, big dreams. And here's to the beers we haven't drank. To the beers we haven't drank.
That song is good.
It is very good. I have to say, too, PJ North is actually a rapper as well. I met him in Brooklyn at Team Backpack. He was on stage rapping where we all competed. Ren Thomas actually won that year, but that's a sad point. So, like, when he got down, he was in, like, cowboy boots. And, like, we kind of, like, sectioned off, and we became good friends. We've been friends 5 years coming now. So follow him. He's a really good country artist, and I don't even like country. Like Nick said,
Yeah, same.
But it's
like that
different.
song.
It's different. It's not your typical stuff. And I guess me just being friends with him, I'm obviously going to be a little more biased. But he's also a race car driver, which is interesting. He's a race car driver, so he's a really good dude. So hopefully you guys liked it.
Whereabouts does he race car drive at?
Like
buggies?
I want to say it's more like Formula One type stuff. I'm sorry, PJ, if I'm wrong, but like it's a lot of that stuff. But we're gonna have him on the show again. He was my first interview, man. Like when this whole stuff started with COVID and we went towards the interview route, PJ North was the first one to come on, and like that kind of started everything. Then it was Chase Moore, Nino Black, and it just. I always text him, like, you were literally the first one who came on. I always thank him for that. And so we are going to have him on because it's almost been a year already with how fast everything's gone. But just really cool dude. Hopefully you guys like his stuff.
If you want to follow him on Twitter, @officialpjnorth. So @officialpjnorth, you can follow him on Twitter. He's got all of his songs, and everything. So you can follow him. And yeah, the guy's super talented. So that's all we got for today. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week.